Hello, fellow human. I am Mona Weathers. I am the real Mona Weathers. The real Mona Weathers has stood up. I am here. I'm not actually standing, but you get the idea. And we're going to talk about impersonations. We're going to talk about AI impersonators and how that might be affecting your brand in a negative way if you are using AI impersonators. I am not here to tell you what to do, but I do want to tell you that there are some things to think about that might be damaging your brand if you're using your image and allowing AI to regenerate your image for your material that you use online. So I've been online for a long time. I've been building businesses. I've been in the space for a long time, and I've seen the uh the trends, okay? And right now, using your image as an AI, letting AI use your image is a trend, and it's fully a trend. It will probably go through some variations before it might end. I'm not sure. It might get worse, and everybody's suddenly an avatar. There's no real people out there, but I hope us humans can see the benefit in using our own image and very limited editing involved in our own image for our businesses, because it actually will build trust. We are, so what they say is, in a trust recession, and it has to do with AI. It has to do with people not knowing who is what and what is who, and how to distinguish whether something is true or not. And we're either leaning into people and personal brands, or we're pulling away. I think most people are leaning more into personal brands because they feel that there's something off about the AI, right? The answers to things. You start recognizing words that are used in AI in chat. Like if you're generating text, there's some AI tells that are being used that people are starting to say that that's AI and show the red flag, but it's actually human language that AI is copying. But even now, if I watch a YouTuber and they say the word quietly, or they say the word, there's a few tells right now, currently in 2026, August 2026. Quietly is one of them, and I keep hearing people say quietly in their in their uh, scripts, on YouTube, and I'm like, was that AI, or did they really mean to use that word quietly? We're questioning everything, like everything is a question. Well, it is what it is, and we have to go through it and all that kind of stuff. The best thing to do, I think, in this time is just to be more of yourself. So if you stutter, if you use words that don't make sense, or if you use words that are elaborate and nobody uses, use that. Like, be different. And another place that we can be different and not imposters is through our images of ourselves that are out there on the internet. um, I believe should be not AI generated. And I'm kind of I won't die on this hill. I'm telling you, I'll be maimed on this hill. I won't die on this hill that I don't think that it's something you should use. But it's really, if you really want to stand out in the future, you really have to lean into yourself, the thing that makes you unique. So I have a couple of stories. I have used AI to regenerate my image in a couple of instances, and a couple of times it was like, okay, so one time it did it really, really well, and then a couple of times it was just off, and I was like, okay, that's weird. I don't want to use that. I don't smile like that. I don't do that. It kind of takes liberties and it does whatever it wants, right? So I decided, just after the last time I did it myself, I'm like, I'm not just not going to do this anymore. I'll edit in Canva, and I'll, change the color of, the tone or whatever, or I'll sharpen the image, but I'm not going to use AI to regenerate my image. And I kind of just came up, with to that conclusion, um, for myself. And then I had an instance where somebody else used my image to create a thumbnail on YouTube. And I was like, that doesn't look like me. Do you think you can use an image of me? The person that did it was not, trying to be, rude or anything like that. She just thought that it was that it would be okay. And I think that's an interesting thing too. Like, why are we not asking people if it's okay if they use our image? I just feel like that's that's just like an ask. But anyway, I'm not faulting this person, but she regenerated my image for this YouTube thumbnail, and I didn't like it, and I asked if she could just like stick my regular picture in there and keep her regenerated one. I think that was messing with her workflow or whatever, so she just decided to regenerate the image again, and the image was even worse the second time. It's like it took the copy of a copy, and then it made me completely different. Like, I'll show you the what it looks like so you can see. But it's like my nose was different. There was there's a not a balding spot, but a gray spot on my head, that isn't there, and it was a copy of a copy, right? And so then after that experience, like, again, I say, if this person is watching, I'm not angry at it at all, like, it's okay. But I decided at that point that if I'm going to be, asked to be on a podcast or something like that, that they would not use my image, because I prefer not to. Now, I have no control if somebody actually does use my image in other ways. Celebrities are always having their image used. I'm not a celebrity. Not that I'm saying I'm a celebrity. I'm just saying anybody could have that happen to them. And I understand that. But if I'm going to be asked, if I'm going to have permission, so I'm like, now there's permission based use of my image. Like, I'll give you permission to regenerate or I won't. And then for me, it's like, that's the way I feel about it, right? So the problem I'm seeing, though, really is that the regenerated image is just a copy of yourself that is not real. And that's the part that bothers me the most, because I feel like we need to be careful of that. Our personal brand is the only thing that really differentiates us from other people, right? And our face and how it really looks, not a version of it, but how it really looks, is what makes us different. So if we want to stand out, we need to take that seriously, and our voice and that kind of thing. So as you can probably know, I'm not a fan of uh, uh, AI generated video either, or anything like that, not just images, but video either. But I am also going to say that there are reasons people do it. And sometimes it's because of health reasons, that they can't be the face of their brand or whatever. So I'm not going to say, this is why I'm not dying on this hill. I'm just going to be strongly against this, as I move forward in my business using AI, leveraging AI. So I leverage AI. I use it to enhance and make something better. And I feel like the imposter version of us is not enhancing and making us better. It might make us look better, like our blemishes and our whatever will go away, but that's not making us as human beings better. So that's why I've decided. And same way I leverage AI for writing, or leverage AI for using to build things, like anything that I build with AI. It's there to enhance and not to make a copy of or a version of, right? So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. I know there are probably strong feelings both sides, like, right? Like, some people are like, well, I don't have the graphic design ability or whatever. I just have to use it. And other people are like, never, never. That um, never use AI. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably are not too against AI for certain things. But if you feel like that it's not something that you will get into, using AI to regenerate your image or a video of you, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And those are my human thoughts for today. And I'm very glad you are here. If you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. So until next time, stay human, I guess.